Hello, hello. Just what I've been waiting for. Another excuse for the right to act like Nelson from The Simpsons and ha ha, another completely innocent mistake by Joe Biden. This time, he stumbled and fell during a cadet graduation ceremony. Oh my God, no! Look at that coolie. Big deal. Big deal. And that's what everybody is going to. Oh, he's tripped. He tripped. See? He's a senile old man. He's a senile old man. Look, you don't like him because he's the democratically elected president. You don't like him because he ran under the Democratic Party. That's it. That's all it is. Okay? Let's, forget about Trump with toilet paper stuck to his shoe. Let's forget about how he looked directly up into a solar eclipse with plenty of photos and video as evidence. Let's forget how he glided down that escalator without even trying to take a step, like it was some magically descending magical ramp from a spaceship or something, like he's a king waving to all the people around him. Let's forget about how, Trump talked about how he will most likely be dating little girls in 10 years. Let's forget about all the unhinged, nonsensical bullshit he's put on social media over the years. You see, Biden can at least put a coherent message together, especially for this past Memorial Day. Trump is a guy who didn't want to visit a veteran cemetery because he was afraid his hair would get wet in the rain. This is complete bullshit. And you know what's sad about it is that, I would have never picked Biden as a Democratic front runner. I wanted Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, by the way, is older than both of them. And people were using this shit 4 years ago. No, you can't have Sanders because he's far too old. And now you've got Biden, who is pretty damn old, and Trump is the same age. Isn't he like 1 or 2 years away from him? Plus, you want to know something? Biden rides bikes. Biden is physically active. Biden exercises. Biden was able to trip over something on stage that he didn't see, and he did not crack a fucking hip. He got right back up and walked away like nothing was wrong. Trump is fucking fat. You couldn't get Trump on a bike if you paid him. And that's saying something, because this guy doesn't want to do shit unless there's a way he can work in an angle for himself. It's Air Force. Who cares what they really think? Air Force service, pick one. Chair Force is what he meant. Ain't nobody jealous of your white gloves nor the baby shit Browns. Where's Chevy Chase when we need him? He's in a shimmering ocean of knowledge that tastes like Hawaiian punch. Whatever the fuck that means. I bet he could take Jake Paul. And then they both go for ice cream after. Now that's what I call a sticky situation. My grandfather died of old age and was younger than Joe Biden. We need age limits on the presidency in both directions. Except Trump is also extremely old and fat, can't even ride a bike, let alone slide first into home plate like Joe, and he's in much worse shape. Might I add, it doesn't really bother me when Biden screws up during a speech because everything out of Trump's mouth is just an incomprehensible clusterfuck word salad of nonsense. Ironic when one of the main dismissals against Bernie was that he was too old, and here we are. How old is Trump? Make sure the maximum is younger than what he is. That way I won't have to listen to his voice again. Trump would probably find a physician to state he's actually younger and then not release his birth certificate. He's like 1 year younger than Biden. Yeah, but, everyone said Biden was too old in 2020. So I guess the same should apply to Trump in 2024, right? Plus, Trump is fucking fat. Dude tripped on a wire while he was essentially hustling off stage. Secret Service detail was literally pointing to that thing he tripped on. You're saying this fall is some kind of proof that he's so old and infirm? People trip on things. It can happen to a 30-year-old just as well. Meanwhile, Joe Biden fell and popped right back up. It's dumb to use this clumsy situation as proof that Biden's old. Let's skew a little younger than 80. Yay, so stoked that it's between either him, DeSantis, or Trump. Fuck this country. Yeah, I'll gladly take a tripping Joe Biden over Trump or DeSantis, not even close. Yeah, exactly. At this point, I'm more and more impressed by his durability. For someone this old to be falling down this often and just get up and be completely okay, he must actually be as fit as he is clumsy. His hip must be made out of granite, titanium alloy. Oh, just imagine how fucked it would be if one of the next falls finally does him in. It's broadcasted. The public would have literally seen their president fall down and die. Well, I would say that's better than when the public saw the president's brains on the seat of his limo. You got a good point there, dude. See, nobody thinks about shit like that. Nobody thinks about it. Nobody cares because it's all about my team versus your team. It's not really about the president's age. If it were about the president's age, then already Trump is 10 times as guilty as Biden. Because it's not about the age. It's not about eating ice cream. It's not about whether he trips and falls. It's not about whether or not he rides a bike. It's not about whether or not his wife wears a sleeveless dress. It's never about anything superficial like that. It's all just about what can we just jump on like a pack of fucking rabid dogs. Anything we could possibly scrutinize so we could say our team is better. I really don't give a shit about your team. You're not even important enough for me to care to say anything bad about you. We wealthy people are better than you. Say the cancel culture monarchs of the extreme left, you're just angry that we wealthy people can be very persuasive with our cash. I'm an independent anyway, so I don't play partisan games. I just sometimes use my money to teach people a lesson. I'm an independent, says the dick rider whose name is Musk Apprentice. Do you put Gucci or Balenciaga clown shoes on with your money? Yep, I'd say Benny Johnson belongs under self-aware wolves. Bacteria is a living thing, but a virus isn't. You cannot catch a virus. The only way to catch one is if it's injected into your body. Spoiler alert. Your teacher always handed your test back to you face down, huh? Ha ha ha. Oh my God. I don't want to watch this. 18-year-old jumped a fence, killed a mother swan, and stole her 4 chicks. Smiles during arrest. The swan lineage dates back to 1905. No longer available. Poor little baby swans. Ew. Okay, that's it. A whole fucking thread on how to cook and eat a bird. That's great. What the fuck is wrong with this idiot Tim Pool? Like, again, is it low IQ or a mental illness? So Tom Morello says, German saying, if 9 people sit down at a table with one Nazi without protest, there are 10 Nazis at the table. What do you think that saying means? Exactly what it says, right? Wow, I didn't expect Tom Morello to come out as a fascist. Kinda sucks. You know, first of all, because you're not, right? Second of all, what color are the blocks in your room? Being anti-Nazi now is the same as being a fascist. Did I get something wrong or what? Ah, yes, civility trolling. They're allowed to hold most uncivil opinions about the personhood of certain demographics, but we're out of line for calling out their shittiness in kind. Yeah, thank you for that phrase. I was wondering if there was a phrase for that. Wonder if we share distant relatives. There is currently no government forcing anyone to go along with Nazis. Therefore, all modern Nazism is voluntary and therefore undeserving of pity, sympathy, or tolerance. Or rapid onset lead poisoning. See also behavior at Target. Dude, it's like they're using Orwell's 1984 as their playbook. They haven't even read 1984 or Brave New World. And you want to know how I know that? Because I'd say that Brave New World is more similar to what we're facing than 1984. 1984, I would think that's more a Soviet Union type of book, something that Soviets would want to read. For us, it's Huxley. It's got to be Brave New World. Brave New World, see, 1984 was about no type of choice or freedom in your life. It was only one way in that set. In Brave New World, it was about far too much meaningless choice. Using that as a distraction. Fascist vomit propaganda. Well, duh, you think? He also supports mass shootings. Yeah. Yep, I'm not surprised. My son is 15. I never bought him a Pride onesie when he was a baby. Never read him a book that had two moms as part of the storyline. When he was little, stores and businesses didn't have LGBTQ displays, and there was no Pride Month. He was raised a Catholic, and we went to church. Guess what? He's gay. The rainbow doesn't make your kids gay because they're born that way. A display in a store doesn't make your kid trans. They are born that way. If you don't love and accept them for the person they are, you are a shitty parent. They have not failed. You have. Ooh, I want to see an ASU student have a meltdown and assault religious protesters on campus. I'll watch that shit all goddamn day. Want to see if there is a mirror, though. Because Reddit really when it comes to their videos. Thank you. Oh, it's a throwback?
Stay away. You don't like it?
Yeah!
Hey.
Yeah!
Mark. Mark, leave him alone. Leave him alone, Mark.
Yeah!
Mark.
Yeah!
Let him go. Mark, Mark, Mark. I can handle it.
What the hell are you doing?
Back off!
Fuck you!
Back off right now!
Fuck you!
Take a hike.
You call yourself Christian!
Mark, Mark, Mark. Stay away. Here's your glass.
I don't like you!
Hey, well, there's your glass.
You don't touch him.
Mark, Mark, don't worry about it.
Fuck you!
Mark, Mark, please, I said.
You know, one of the dumbest things somebody can say to you is, I don't like you. Who the fuck asked you? Who cares what you like? You know, you say it like it's supposed to mean something to somebody. Nobody gives a fuck who you like or don't like. You don't like somebody, why are you talking to them? Get the fuck out of here. And this kid's a whiny little bitch. Sad on multiple levels. Yes, it is. Well, these twat waffles do come to campuses just trying to provoke people, then like to play the victim once they push someone who lashes out. Well, the music kids handled it correctly. This young person did not. People have a right to say things you don't like, and you have no right to attack them for it. I don't like their religious nuts either, but they have the same rights I do. And I respect that because that's what a free society is about. Well, I don't care what those music students did, would have been like that. Mark got that dog in him. Well, this person is right. I mean, you go somewhere talking shit, this is what's going to happen. This is a possibility. You see, nobody would be saying the same thing if this guy's sign had the N-word on it in big letters. Aw, Putin had a drone attack near his luxury home. Ugh. Holy fucking shit. Donald Trump stole classified plans for an attack on Iran. And then out of nowhere, Bonesaw Arabia hands $2 billion to Jared Kushner. Come on, do I have to draw you a fucking picture here or what? I want Jeff Tiedrick to draw a picture. I mean, seriously? An attack on Iran? People have been talking about that coming out of the White House for years. What's the penalty for espionage? Asking for a friend. Ha 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 ha. GOP just wipes their asses with the Constitution. Then we'll wipe our shit-smeared Constitution down dipshit Donnie's face. Not to kink shame, but why give him what he wants? Thought he was more of a pee-pee kind of guy. Punishment for treason of this scale is death. Not making it up, that's actually the punishment for treason and espionage against the United States. If this jackass wants to make it out alive, he better haul ass to Russia, where he'll be invited with open arms. Do you know what they do to people who commit treason? First time. I've never heard of a second. Last time the U.S. executed anyone for anything close to this was the Rosenbergs. They got the old Sparky treatment. Well, not the U.S., but Ceausescu and his wife ended up being executed for doing that type of shit to their own country. Wasn't the United States, but most countries take crimes against your own country pretty damn seriously. Following their executions, the Rosenbergs' two sons were raised by Abel Meeropol, who wrote the lyrics to Strange Fruit. Let us explore the Rosenbergs. Oh yeah, Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. Ethel worked as a clerk for some years after her graduation from high school. She married Julius Rosenberg in 1939. He earned a degree in electrical engineering, and they were active members of the Communist Party. The following year, Julius obtained a job as a civilian engineer with the Army Signal Corps. He and Ethel began working together to disclose U.S. military secrets to the Soviet Union. Ethel's brother, Sergeant David Greenglass, who was assigned as a machinist to the Manhattan Project to build the atomic bomb, provided the Rosenbergs with data on nuclear weapons. Rosenbergs turned this information over to Harry Gold, Swiss-born courier for the espionage ring, who then passed it to Anatoly A. Yakovlev, the Soviet Union's vice consul in New York City. Rosenberg was discharged by the Army in 1945 for having lied about his membership in the Communist Party. Gold was arrested in 1950 in connection with the case of British spy Klaus Fuchs, who was arrested for giving U.S. and British nuclear secrets to the Soviets. The arrests of both followed quickly in June and July, and Ethel was arrested in August. Rosenbergs were charged with conspiracy to commit espionage and brought to trial in 1951. Greenglass became chief witness for the prosecution. By March 29th, they were found guilty, and on April 5th, the couple was sentenced to death. Greenglass got 15 years in prison. I wouldn't have rolled over for 15 years in prison. For 2 years, the Rosenberg case was appealed through the courts and before world opinion. The judge pronouncing the sentence had accused them of a crime worse than murder. 7 different appeals reached the Supreme Courts and were denied. Clemency was dismissed by President Truman in 1952 and Dwight Eisenhower in 1953. A worldwide campaign for mercy failed, and the Rosenbergs were executed in the electric chair at Sing Sing Prison in Ossining, New York. Ethel was the first woman executed by the government since Mary Surratt was hanged in 1865 for her role in the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Significant debate abounded over their guilt. They were frequently regarded as victims of cynical and vindictive FBI officials. Sympathetic portraits of the Rosenbergs were offered in major novels, including The Book of Daniel, The Public Burning, and The Book of Daniel was released as a motion picture called Daniel in 1983. Might want to watch that. Well, controversy over their guilt was resolved in the 90s after the collapse of the Soviet Union and the release of Soviet intelligence that confirmed Rosenberg's definite involvement in the espionage. Oh, and Greenglass may have lied at trial by exaggerating his sister's role in order to obscure the more extensive involvement of his wife Ruth, who was not prosecuted. He sold out his sister to save his wife. Seriously, the guy would throw them under the bus for a nickel. They need to be preemptive about it. Or maybe one of them could shoot him in the middle of Fifth Avenue. They wouldn't lose any money since they weren't getting anything anyway. Oh my God. You know what's sad is that he's not too far off from that. This is the funniest photo I've seen in a while. Oh my God. That is sad. Oh God. Okay, I'll be right back in a few minutes.